Chaos in Minneapolis as hundreds violently protest the death of George Floyd. This afternoon, the former police officer involved is now in custody.
Their voices went unheard, and now generations of pain is manifesting itself in front of the world, and the world is watching.
The governor's call to restore peace as protesters demand justice. Now is the time to stock up on hurricane supplies. A tax-free holiday begins today. The governor weighs in on how the state is preparing for hurricane season during a pandemic. WPTV News Channel 5 at 4 starts right now. We begin with breaking news. The former Minneapolis police officer at the center of George Floyd's death is under arrest. The county attorney says Derek Chauvin is charged with third-degree murder in Floyd's death. He says there may be more charges to come. This comes after the third night of violent protest. Hundreds cheered as an evacuated police precinct burned to the ground last night. Other stores were taken over by looters. The National Guard is now on the ground along with police working to restore order.
Help us use humane way to get the streets to a place where we can restore the justice so that those that are expressing rage and anger and demanding justice are heard, not those who throw firebombs into businesses.
The governor says he expects that justice for the officers involved in this will be swift. Meanwhile, remaining businesses are boarding up as the city prepares for another possible night of protests. Governor Ron DeSantis stopped in Boca Raton today to talk COVID-19 and hurricane preparations. He says the state is preparing, and so should you. WPTV News Channel 5's Matt Cesny explains the steps being taken to keep us all safe.
If you need those supplies, now is a great time to be able to get it.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis stood in this West Boca Home Depot to urge stocking up during the hurricane supply tax holiday. And according to the state's emergency management director, they're also stocking up.
We have 10 million masks in reserve for hurricane season. We have 5,000 thermometers, 5 million gloves, 1 million face shields.
Planning for the hurricane season has been a unique challenge for the governor and his team because of COVID-19. And they say they plan to use hotels as shelters.
We've compiled a list of 200 hotels that have signed up to do that. We're going to continue to add to that, and we will provide those to the counties.
Palm Beach County Mayor David Kerner.
We're going to have more shelters in place that we can do the social distancing, so there's a bed, there'll be a divider. These are the pragmatic solutions that we have to come up with.
One other solution to testing was out in the Home Depot parking lot, one of many micro-testing sites now being launched.
So if you're shopping and you want to get a test, you have the ability, very easy access. You don't even have to leave the parking lot to be able to do it.
These sites are also going up outside some Publix too. The governor says the state now close to having done 1 million COVID-19 tests. In West Boca Raton, Matt Cesny, WPTV News Channel 5.
Our WPTV First Alert weather team is making sure that you're ready for any storm that heads our way this hurricane season. Join us tomorrow at 7 o'clock for our hurricane special and find out how the COVID-19 pandemic will impact shelters and evacuations. Now to coronavirus cases being reported in our viewing area overnight. 222 cases were reported in Palm Beach County, 44 in Martin County, 25 in St. Lucie County, and 2 cases in Indian River and Okeechobee counties. Across the state, 49 people died in just the last day. You can donate blood and find out if you have the coronavirus antibody. One Blood will test all of their donations. It will indicate if the donor's immune system has produced antibodies to the virus, regardless of whether they ever showed any symptoms. Donors will also be able to see their results approximately 48 hours after donating. The test also identifies people who can be COVID-19 plasma donors. Lake Worth Beach is holding some walk-up testing. If you didn't already get a chance to get tested today, there will be another walk-up testing site set up Saturday from 4 until 8 p.m. at Harold Grimes Park. That's at the corner of 6th Avenue and A Street. Now, you do not need an appointment to show up and get tested, and all the tests are free. You might be able to continue to get that $600 a week unemployment check. It's expected to expire on July 31st, but lawmakers are talking about extending them through January as part of the next stimulus package. Democrats support the move. Republicans worry that much money will discourage laid-off workers from finding a new job.
There's new evidence that limited COVID-19 transmission was happening in the U.S. earlier than first thought. The first U.S. cases of the virus not related to travel were confirmed on February 26th and 28th. That suggests that community transmission was happening by late February. But the CDC says today it has evidence that suggests limited transmission began in late January or early February. But until late February, it was too low to be detected. It says based on this, we'll need enhanced surveillance for symptoms to monitor COVID-19 trends. Let's start the news feed. More hospitals are cutting how much they use hydroxychloroquine. That's a malaria drug that was being considered as a possible treatment. New studies have raised concerns about its safety. Lawmakers are looking at ways to get people back to work. Congress is discussing a potential bonus for people who return to their jobs. No word on how much that could be. The Federal Reserve is getting ready to pay out its first loans. It's part of the Main Street lending facility. The program will support small and mid-sized companies. Well, hospitals realize they'll need more people to operate ventilators if a spike in COVID-19 cases happens this fall. How they're using virtual training and robots to prepare the staff they currently have.
SpaceX and NASA are standing by for the historic launch planned for tomorrow. The reason there's only, though, a 50-50 chance it will actually happen when we come back.
Prepare the staff they currently have.
SpaceX and NASA are standing by for the historic launch planned for tomorrow. The reason there's only, though, a 50-50 chance it will actually happen when we come back. NASA are standing by for the historic launch planned for tomorrow. The reason there's only, though, a 50-50 chance it will actually happen when we come back.